Hello, hello. I'm so excited. Welcome back to the Eva Show, the show for magic, pleasure, and embodied leadership. And today I have another amazing guest, and I can't wait to introduce you to one of a very special person in my life, Melanie Moore. I can say so many things, and I will say a lot of things today. But before I share a lot about you, Mel. So first of all, thank you for being here, and such an honor to have you as a guest.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. I'm really excited to be here.
And we will be talking about tapping, EFT tapping, and abundance. And yeah, okay, maybe before I start many things, introduce yourself, what you're doing, and yeah, your beautiful magic that you bring into the world.
Oh, you're so kind. So I am a coach and mentor, and I like to help women who are at crossroads in their lives. And, and these are women, because we're such a powerful, amazing people and with so much potential. But I think through our lives, we can get lost in various identities. And, just through growing up, through teenage years. And, in my case, it was going into kind of motherhood, my identity as a mother, but also as a business owner as well. It's quite, we often talk about the work-life balance, but it can be a struggle for women because we have so much to give to the world, to offer, either in the workspace. I spent over a decade in the corporate world. I started off, working for the BBC as a journalist, moving into IT headhunting recruitment. But then when I kind of became a mum as well, it's just like, for me, it became the most important thing in the world. But it wasn't just my identity. I still had so much to give. And this was kind of when I had one of my crossroad moments. It was like, how can I be a successful mum? And no, not a successful mum, but a good mum, there present for my children, because I don't want to be leaving them, going to the office every day. But also, how can I, be a successful woman in my own right as well? Because I started my own holistic therapy business when my children were very small. I then specialised in EFT. Back then, I was helping women on their fertility journey, helping women, get pregnant, through their pregnancies, post-pregnancy. And now I feel that my audience has shifted slightly now, a bit like me. I'm on the verge of having an empty nest. My son's at university already. My daughter's going to be leaving next year. So I feel that is another crossroads in women's lives. And of course, another one that I had to face was becoming a single parent as well when my marriage ended. So, although I am in a relationship, we don't live together. So I'm still a single parent, and I've been a single parent for over a decade. So they're kind of two quite different parts of my lives, but it's helping women navigate those crossroads, but all the while staying like living your purpose, being of value to the world. But, and I know you're in my community, but I talk about the 4 pillars of your life and your vision, which are the pillars of abundance, which I'm excited to be talking about today, of your relationships, which I know you love talking about relationships, of your environment. This is your home where you travel, this is a car you drive. And of course, our health as well, which is super important. If you don't have good, vibrant health, the other, nothing else really matters. You've got to have, and I think you've got to have all 4 of those in equal measures. That's why I, talk about the 4 pillars of the big vision. And abundance, of course, it's so important as well, because it gives us choices. When we are abundant, we can drive the car that we want. We can spend a fortune on supplements. I seem to be spending all my money on supplements these days. They're expensive, these supplements. And personal trainer, and these are the things that raise my health pillar. So abundance is so important. And of course, being a single parent, I had to really look at my money mindset and realize that actually, what if I told myself a new story that I could be a really abundant, successful single parent, and be an amazing mum to my children as well, and my kids, we've still got some time to go, but as far as I can see now, my kids are amazing. They did so well in their exams last year. My son's having a great time at uni, and my daughter is just so ambitious. She's so, she's so much more ambitious and into her studies than I was when I was 16. And I think, wow, okay, Mel, you've done a good job so far. so yeah, it's a juggle. It's a balancing act. So I don't know. Have I introduced myself there? I think I've just rambled.
No, it's fine. And I love it, and I feel it gives a good feeling. And I feel also, because obviously in my community there are also a lot of women, a lot of single mothers, or like at different stages of their lives, and I love that around the crossroads, because it's so easy to be stuck in one certain identity. Because I remember, for example, myself when I was working in corporate, and that was kind of the path that I kind of thought would be the path for me, till I realized at some point, no, it isn't. And then, obviously I quit my career at some point, and I decided I wanted to go travel. And then I became like this traveler, and I identified myself as this traveler. And then, digital nomading came up, and I was like, oh, I'm a digital nomad. And I feel sometimes these kind of identities can be still limiting when we're going into different areas of our lives, and understanding like, okay, cool, these are parts that I embody, but this is not all who I am. And I'm very sure a lot of people, and especially a lot of women, will kind of resonate a lot with this topic also, like being a mother, like it's such a big role, and such a role that society presses us that this is the only thing, right? Like in my community, there are a lot of women who say, like, don't get me wrong, I love to be a mom, but I also want my sex life back. I want my relationship back. I want my passion back. I want to have a career
you can
again.
have both. You can have it all, by the way.
Yes. And I love that, because maybe let's talk about EFT a little bit, especially for people who don't know EFT. Maybe explain what EFT really is, and how this can help. I know it was a huge turning point in your life, and at some point in my life as well.
Yeah, so I've always been fascinated with energy healing. So I started off life as a reflexologist, Reiki practitioner, and then I kind of discovered this thing called tapping. It would have been probably about 14, 15 years ago. And because I was already in the holistic world, I was kind of just aware of these things. So I used to suffer from hay fever, like seasonal allergies. So here, kind of around May time, oh my God, I don't know what pollen it is, of grasses, and through the summer as well, grass pollen as well, used to really affect me. And, I just have to take antihistamines, and it would just often ruin a beautiful, it was almost, the irony was, the nicer the weather, the worse my allergies were. And so I heard that EFT could be good for this. So I thought, I'll just give it a go. I just found this tapping video, and I just did some tapping on it. I thought, oh my God, my symptoms have just disappeared. This is really weird. And then I did it on migraines. I had monthly migraines. And again, 5 minutes of tapping and my headache would just disappear. And I thought, oh my God, this is just, of course, I then had to go and train as a therapist. So to begin with, I was using it for physical symptoms, but it was great for relaxation and calm. So what it is it's based on traditional Chinese medicine and acupressure points. So we tap on these points on our faces. I'll go through the points in a minute. Our upper body and top of our head. These are the classic points. There's also points on our fingertips as well, on our nail bed, that we can tap on. And it was kind of discovered by accident by this psychotherapist, I think back in the 80s. He was dealing with a woman, his name's Roger Callahan, and he was dealing with a woman who had a terrible phobia of water. And she, was talking endlessly. As traditional psychotherapy, it's a talking thing. You just talk and talk and talk about things happened to you in the past, and you talk and talk and talk. And he had a basic awareness of these acupressure points. And one of these points, I think it's that one, is associated with fear. So he said, look, because they'd been working together for some time, not made any breakthroughs. He said, look, just talk about it while tapping on this point. So she was talking and tapping. And then she said, I don't know what's just happened, but I feel something shifted. And, to prove it, she went and splashed water in her face. She goes, oh my God, what's happened there? And he was a bit like, oh my God, what's happened there? So that then led to this kind of investigation between these points and, you know, the stimulation of points with tapping, whilst combining it with talking as well. So it's called emotional freedom technique, because first we're addressing whatever's wrong, or the problem or the emotion. You tap it, then you bring it up to the surface, because it's free. You don't, because a lot of medication, traditional, antidepressants, and they suppress illnesses. They a lot of even taking a paracetamol, even taking painkillers suppresses it. If you've got a fever and you take drugs, it's lowering the fever, but it's not getting rid of the virus or whatever is in your body. You need that fever to burn the virus off. But most of the Western medicines is suppresses our feelings, it suppresses the disease, and it pushes it back into the body. So what it does, it brings it up and out, which creates a release. So people can very often feel emotional, get shifts, they get yawning because stuff's coming up. And then it's amazing. It just like frees you from it. And it's just like, oh my God, I feel so much lighter. I feel amazing. You're freeing yourself. But so whilst it's great for physical symptoms, and, I've created tapping videos for headaches, for pain relief, how I've chosen to specialize in it is to help people with limiting beliefs, and to help people with manifestation as well. And just bizarrely, tapping into abundance, which was the first program I created, because, as I shared earlier, as I was going through this whole period of, my marriage ending, 2 children to feed, put a roof over their heads, and working as a holistic therapist at that time, I wasn't making that much money. I called it at the time, it was hobby money. I literally made enough money to pay for the kids' hobbies. But I literally was I was at crossroads in my life, and it was like, right, I either need to scale up my business, or I go back to the corporate world. And, with the kids being so small, I'd made this commitment. When they were born, I said to myself, I don't want to be getting on a train into London at 7 a.m. and coming back at 7 p.m. and have someone else look after my children. I didn't want that. So the thought of, because that was my reality I was facing, I thought, I'm gonna have to do this. I don't know what else to do. But so this is when I slowly started to incorporate tapping. Firstly, tapping into all my money anxieties. And honestly, it wasn't overnight. I still tap on money stuff today. It's a consistent thing, because money is such an emotive topic. Okay, talk about emotional freedom techniques. Got emotional freedom technique. How emotive a topic is money. When we don't have enough money, it can keep us awake at night. It can create stomach pains. It can cause stress and anxiety, worry, overwhelm. It literally brings fear into our lives when we don't have enough money. But when we've got money and it's flowing, oh my gosh, don't we feel happier? We feel freer. We have choices. We book holidays. We buy nice things. It's so emotional. So it kind of makes sense that this tool, emotional freedom technique, it works without emotions. And this is where kind of we get a bit woo, and we get a little bit kind of into manifesting territory. But, I was already in this world anyway. I was massive into personal development. I'd read books like Think and Grow Rich, The Secret, Deepak Chopra. And there was a lot of kind of themes around money, around, that it's like an energy source. It's an emotion, it's a feeling. And I know to this day, when I kind of set an intention to kind of manifest money, the tapping heightens my state and brings me into a state of, yeah, I can do this. It motivates me to do the thing, because, I'm afraid you can't just sit there, close your eyes, go and, the check's going to appear through the letterbox. I wish it were that simple. However, I have heard stories not that far off where these things happen, but we've got to take action as well. And so, say for example, this is how I like to use tapping, that you're tapping for abundance. Say you're asking the universe for money. God, universe, I really need £5,000 right now. And, from my understanding of, reading into money, manifesting, money it's an idea, it's formless stuff. We get inspired to create things in our business. And where does that inspiration come from? It comes from out there in the universe. Because when we ask for an idea, we will get a thought into our head, it pops into our head from, oh, you could do this, you could create this, you could write a book, you could start a podcast. And we get this inspiration, but then we've got to take action and turn it into reality. And this is when the tapping can come in. It's just like, it could be something as simple as, even though I have this tapping idea, even though I have this tapping idea, I choose to know that I can make this a reality. I choose to be inspired, and I'm allowing the next steps to come. I'm allowing the inspiration to come further. I'm looking, give me confirmation that this is a valid idea. And it's almost like it's self-talk. As I said, it's a talking therapy, but our words are so powerful. When we combine words with action, this is when we make magic in our lives.
Yeah, and what I also love about it is also, yes, it's talk therapy, but it's also talking in the direction where we want to go, because
Yes.
classical therapy, I believe there's a time and space for therapy, and there's time and space for creation. And I believe money, it's a really good example what you say, like, because when we are in that state of like, oh, I don't have money, when we are in survival mode, this is proven, when we are in survival, there's no space for love and creation and whatever, because our whole system is like, oh my God, I'm in like flight and flight mode. So I feel that's where tapping really comes in, because classical therapy would be going into like, why are you in fight and flight? And, like analyzing that. But analyzing that situation will not help stop running, right? And we kind of have to come back into that state of like, all right, everything is okay. And now I'm taking action steps. And the action steps normally, the inspired action steps, or the action steps coming from source, they are normally also joyful, because I feel with money, also the other story that we tell ourselves, it's like, it's got to be hard work, right? But what about if it's just work and not hard work? Like, like for example, this is fun. It's still an action step. It's a very inspiring action step, and it's a lot of fun. But it's, of course, not only sitting and meditating on this.
Exactly. And when work is fun, that is magic. I was up to my desk till nearly 11 o'clock last night. I wasn't aware at the time. I'd created some new videos. And I was so in flow, and I was really enjoying myself. Oh my God, it's 11 o'clock. But it didn't feel like, oh my God, it's 11 o'clock and I'm still working. It didn't feel that way at all. It's, and when we can bring that into our lives, it's magical.
Yes. I have my soul has this interesting part, like when I'm in really high creative states, I wake up at 3 a.m. and I'm like, really? So, there's the human aspect that's like, let me sleep. But then I'm so awake and I'm like, okay, I need to do things, but it comes really from this extreme heightened state. And that's obviously, yeah. And I can confirm, certainly. I remember I did once one of like, I did like a lot of your tapping videos, obviously, but I remember, and I think this was such a big thing, because sometimes we also believe that belief work needs to take so much time. And I remember I had this lower back problem, which was very like, and I rarely have like physical pain, but it was so painful. And I tapped on one of your videos around back pain, and it was gone. And it was like gone after one round. And I thought, like, if my physical back pain that was so unbearable that I could barely move can disappear instantly, everything can. If my physical pain can do that, everything can shift.
Yeah. And I had experience recently where I'd gone through, I don't know, a week or two of my sleep wasn't great. I was struggling to get sleep at night. I was waking up early. And of course, one of my most popular tapping videos on YouTube is tapping for a good night's sleep. But what was the dialogue I was telling myself was, oh my God, I can't sleep. Oh my God. And I was just kind of like, oh, I hope I sleep tonight. And it was just kind of like, oh, I had a terrible night's sleep. And I was telling myself, I can't sleep. So I thought, this is just silly. So I started to tell myself, you're going to have a great night's sleep tonight. And then I did tap. I found my tapping video on YouTube. And I tapped along with myself, and I slept all night. And I think, because I was just getting into that story of, oh my God, I hope this is going to be another night I can't sleep. And I thought, this is just crazy, just do what you teach other people to do, you forget.
Yeah, well, sometimes it happens. Sometimes it's like, oh, take your own medicine.
Exactly. So yeah, it's all about the stories we tell ourselves. And as you said, earlier, it's taking the conversation to the outcome that you want, the direction you want it to go to. And that's how we manifest. That's how we manifest money, magic, and anything we want to call into our lives. But as human beings, we're hardwired into thinking the opposite. We go down the story of lack and I haven't got it. Then that creates anxiety, that creates a bad feeling in the body and the stress. And it's almost like, right, I've just got to undo all of that stress. And you can do that really quickly. And then tap into what it is that you want.
Yes, it's so true. And I think it's also really cool focus on, actually, I want that. And I know because I want it, obviously, because I want it, it has been planted inside of me that I can create it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's really like, I love that aspect of like, okay, I don't know the how yet, because this is always the question about the how, right? Like, how do I get that money? How do I get the clients? How do I meet that soulmate? How do I get that fit body? Whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel this tool like EFT is really also this conversation with ourselves is really also allowing the how to show up.
Yeah, exactly. The path does reveal itself. And other ways that I've used tapping has been, when sometimes we get problems in our lives and we can't see the solution. It's just like, God, I've just got this real problem here. There's this thing that's just hanging over me. And I believe there's a problem to, it's a solution to every problem. And it's just like, okay, well, how can I find the solution to this? But then think, well, that problem there's a problem there. What is the outcome that you want? And then just ask yourself, what do I need to do to get this outcome that I want? And sometimes it's going to take some brainstorming. It might take some journaling and tapping. But I think if you focus on the outcome that you want, the solution will appear as well. And very often this relates to money as well. Say if there's been so many things that I've wanted to buy, or trips that I've wanted to go on. I remember there was a mastermind I wanted to join. It was like, I really want this thing. I think desire is such a great thing. When we want something, I think it's amazing, because there's different types of desire. There's sometimes just like, oh, that's a nice pair of shoes. Oh yeah, they're £500. I don't want to spend that on it. But then you kind of, oh my God, there's this experience I really want. I want this so much. What can I do to make this happen? What do I need to do to make this happen? And you'll brainstorm the ways. It's when the desire, I call it heart's desire, when your heart and soul want it so much. Well, what can I do to make this happen? And then we tap into the magic and the miracles and the possibilities. And it's just amazing how, and sometimes it happens really quickly and sometimes it takes a bit longer. But I think if you really want something badly enough and you are willing to do the work and tap and maybe consistently, sometimes it takes a while to manifest. It will happen. It really will happen.
Yeah, it's so true. What is the craziest thing you have manifested?
Oh gosh, I know suddenly my car came to mind just now, but actually that wasn't but I remember, I'm just on the verge of changing my car, but let's go back about 6 years. I really wanted a Range Rover. I wanted this Land Rover, and I was so and I was driving a Toyota at the time, and I couldn't see how it was possible. I really couldn't see how it's possible. I would see them everywhere, and I'd say to the kids, Mummy's going to get that. That's what I want. And I remember it was a Black Friday deal, and I thought, every so often I'd go to the Range Rover dealership and I'd just go and have a look around, just knowing I couldn't really afford it, but still I'd go anyway. And anyway, I went one day and it was Black Friday, and they had some amazing deals on. It was literally, the interest rates were really low. And here's me thinking I had to manifest, I don't know, £50,000 or something. But actually, it was only the monthly payments I needed to be able to afford. And they were they were so much more affordable than I thought they were going to be. And then literally I took the car for a test drive and I picked it up the following day, and it was like, oh my God, that happened so quick. And it was like, wow, that was super exciting, you know, manifesting my dream car, because it went from literally, I can't see how this is possible, to literally me owning it a week later. It was incredible. It was like, that happened so much quicker than I thought it was. I thought it was still another year or two away. That happened really quickly. I'd say the craziest thing I manifested, and it was, oh, which story shall I share? I can't think which one. Okay, I'll share the money one. So it was when I was still working in my corporate job, and we're talking about heart's desires. I wanted nothing more than to be at home with my children. I wanted to leave the corporate job, and I knew I was going to have to take a big cut in salary, and I couldn't see how I could afford it. So this was my first big money manifesting story. And I kind of said to myself, you know, well, how much would you need in order to feel comfortable? Because I wanted to start up my own business as well. And I thought, do you know what, £20,000 would be the perfect amount of money in order to get my business started, so I could hand my notice in. I could, you know, it would feel comfortable to leave my job, because I thought I need a cash windfall. So it's funny, a couple of things happened. Firstly, when I was kind of like super clear, I just don't want to work anymore. I don't want to be in the office anymore. I want to be at home with my children. So I got made redundant from my corporate job, and I was so happy. And I got a good redundancy package. It wasn't £20,000, but it was pretty good, and it was enough for me to like, right, that's it, I'm leaving now. But then, and here's kind of how the manifestation story happened. I used to work really near the studios where Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was filmed. And Eva, I know you know this story, but I love sharing it anyway. I used to work really near the studios where Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was filmed. And every day when I drove to work, I would visualize and I would imagine being on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So I applied to be on the show as a contestant. Anyway, and I cut a long story short, I'd already been made redundant at this point, and I got called for an audition. And at the audition, they said to me, what would you do if you won? I said, I've literally just been made redundant. I will stay at home with my children. And I don't think the producers were expecting their answers. They were like, yeah, holiday, car. I was just like, I just want to stay at home with my children. Anyway, I got called to be a contestant on the show, and I got in the hot seat and I won £20,000, which is exactly the amount of money that I'd asked the universe for about 3 months earlier. It was crazy. So when you ask what's the craziest manifestation, hands down, that was the craziest manifestation.
I love that story. And I think it also shows like how it can work in a very magical way, right? And probably when you made that request, you didn't think like, oh, I'm going to win it.
No, and it really, I get goosebumps every time I share that story, because, and also I love sharing it because it's a reminder to me of that we are magical, you know, we are creators, we can make stuff happen. But it's got to come from your heart. I really, really wanted that Range Rover. I really, really wanted to be at home with my children. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mother, but I really wanted to start my own business as well. And when I think about all the things, and you know, there's so many more things I've manifested. I've won 2 holidays. I won a week's retreat in Italy. I won a trip to Disneyland. You know, that was with the help of my daughter and a vision board. But you know, we can teach our children, we can teach them to manifest as well, because my daughter really wanted to go to Disneyland. And trust me, you know, if you're a parent and your child wants something, you kind of want to make it happen for them. And I couldn't afford a trip to Disneyland, and she made a vision board, and we ended up winning a trip to Disneyland as well. So it wasn't even manifesting the money, I manifested the outcome. That's why I really believe in, not only should we be, you know, manifesting the money, because of course we need money, we need customers, we need clients, we need, you know, if we're running a business, money is the cash flow in our business. But sometimes you can fast track it and just go straight for the thing that you want as well. And just be open to that those things that you want can come to you in other ways. They don't necessarily have to come, you know, through. That's the thing. When we let go of the how, sometimes we think, well, I've got to do this, 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 and this, and this, and that's how it will happen. You know, I think, right, if I just make 10K by the end of this year, I'll book the trip to Disneyland. I didn't have an extra 10K to book a trip to Disneyland, but the universe fast tracked it because my daughter's desires and, me manifesting and visualizing, it brought it to us so much quicker.
I love it, and I love it, and I think it's such a great reminder because sometimes we also say like, oh, I need first the money, then I do that. And I think once we know that, like, okay, yeah, if it comes in our way. And I had to laugh because I asked that question also another guest, and he said also that he wanted a Range Rover and he got it within 48 hours. So I'm like, wow, Range Rover, it seems to be.
So that I want something different now. I've got my eyes on something else. So I'll keep you posted when my new car manifests.
Nice. Oh, it's so cool. All right, if you're up for it, we could do, I'm sure like the audience would love like a little round of tapping to create also something magical. We
Yeah,
could do a quick round if you feel like it.
I'd love to. This idea just came to me just as I was sharing my stories. And I'd love your audience and you as well. You can play along, Eva, and I'm going to play along as well. To think of something that you really want to have happen, something a heart's desire manifestation. And it could be the money, it could be the thing that that you think the money saves for the trip. It could just be the trip, or it could be the car, or it could be, whatever, or it could be the money. It could be 10 new clients, whatever. I want you to think about something your heart and soul really want. And, and let's see if we can do some time collapse, maybe say within 30 days. I think, what would you love to have happen in 30 days? So I'd like everyone to just think about that thing for a moment. And, so first of all, I just want you to close your eyes and just imagine that you've got the thing. I want you to imagine that maybe you are ringing someone to tell them that you've got this thing, or you're taking a photo of yourself and you're WhatsApping it to somebody, or sending a text message. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I've just got this thing. This has just happened. Or maybe you're posting it on social media. You're announcing that it's happened. And I just want to feel the feeling, the excitement, the, oh my God, it's happened. Just really kind of anchor that feeling in. Okay, I can see you're smiling. That's great. Okay, and now let's tap for this abundance and this magic. Okay. Even though there's this thing that I want.
Even though there's this thing that I want.
And it feels like a bit of a stretch goal right now.
And it feels like a little bit of a stretch goal right now.
And I'm not quite sure how it's going to happen.
And I'm not sure how this is going to happen.
That's okay.
That's okay.
I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
I choose to love and accept myself anyway.
Even though there's this thing that I really, really want.
Even though there's this thing that I really, really want.
And there's a bit of a gap between where I am and where I want to be.
And there's a little bit of a gap where I am and where I want to be.
That's okay.
That's okay.
I choose to love and honor myself anyway.
I choose to love and honor myself anyway.
Even though there's this thing that I really, really, really want.
Even though there's this thing that I really, really want.
I choose to know.
I choose to know.
That I've been given this desire for a reason.
That I have been given this desire for a reason.
And I also choose to know.
And I also choose to know.
That when the desire is this strong.
That when this desire is so strong.
The universe wants me to have it too.
The universe wants me to have it too.
And will find a way to make it happen.
And will find a way to make it happen.
And I'm allowing this to be easy.
And I'm allowing this to be easy.
I'm allowing it to be fun.
I'm allowing it to be fun.
And I choose to love and honor myself.
And I choose to love and honor myself.
On my journey to getting this thing.
On my journey to getting this thing.
This thing that I want.
This thing that I want.
I really want it.
I really want it.
And I'm allowing the universe.
And I'm allowing the universe.
To show me the possibilities.
To show me the possibilities.
To show me how this can happen.
to show me how this is going to happen.
Allowing the universe to bring me opportunities.
Allowing the universe to bring me opportunities.
To put me in the right place at the right time.
To put me at the right place in the right time.
To bring this magic into my life.
To bring this magic into my life.
Because I know I've had magical moments before.
Because I know I have had magical moments before.
And I can create this magical feeling again.
And I can create this magical feeling again.
I'm allowing the abundance to come.
I'm allowing the abundance to come.
The prosperity to flow.
The prosperity to flow.
The magic and miracles to come my way.
The magic and miracles to come my way.
And I'm open to receiving it.
And I'm open to receiving it.
I am ready to receive it.
I'm ready to receive it.
I'm allowing it to happen sooner rather than later.
I'm allowing it to happen sooner rather than later.
And I feel excited.
And I feel excited.
About the possibilities.
About the possibilities.
And I ask the universe.
And I ask the universe.
To show me my next step.
To show me my next step.
To reveal to me.
To reveal to me.
What I need to do next.
What I need to do next.
And I'm allowing the messages to come.
And allowing that messages to come.
I'm allowing the inspiration to come.
I'm allowing the inspiration to come.
And I also choose to know.
And I also choose to know.
That as soon as the inspiration comes.
That as soon as the inspiration comes.
I will be ready to take action.
I will be ready to take action.
And I'm allowing the whole process to be fun.
I'm allowing the whole process to be fun.
To be easy.
To be easy.
And effortless.
And effortless.
I'm ready for this.
I'm ready for this.
I'm ready to make magic.
I'm ready to make magic.
I'm ready to call in the money.
I'm ready to call in the money.
Call in the abundance.
Call in the abundance.
Call in the prosperity.
Call in the prosperity.
I'm allowing it to happen soon.
I'm allowing it to happen soon.
And I'll be so excited.
And I'll be so excited.
With how quickly it happens.
With how quickly it happens.
I'm ready for it to happen quickly.
I'm ready for it to happen quickly.
In body, mind, and spirit.
In body, mind, and spirit.
Okay, take a nice deep breath in. And exhale. When you do this tapping, you can just do that little visualization again. Just imagine you've received it, it's done, and you're telling somebody. So you can do that beginning and at the end. Just keep that vision really anchored.
Oh, nice. Wow, super fun. I'm sure everybody will absolutely love it, and I keep you posted what happens in 30 days.
Please do. And I think people watching this, they should get them to comment. Come and comment. What is it you're after? Or come back and tell Eva when it's manifested.
Yes, we want to celebrate you.
Yes.
Nice. So Mel, how can people work with you? So obviously you do these amazing things. So you mentioned the prosperity, this course that you do, part of your membership.
Once a year I have this challenge. I don't like to call it a challenge, so I call it the prosperity party. It's 5-day money manifesting party. And I always set the intention that people are going to manifest £500 or $500 during the course of the week, and it can come in many, many ways. And it's an introduction into money manifesting, but also I have people coming back year after year doing the party over and over again. It's super low cost. It's £10, which I think is about $7 to do. And everyone makes their money back. Everyone makes their money back, on the giving and receiving day. Everyone makes their money back, bare minimum. But I've had the most amazing stories of people who've manifested thousands of pounds, thousands of dollars. One guy in America a few years back manifested $65,000 during the week of the prosperity party. And it was literally money that came out of the blue to him. People get old debts repaid. People find money, old bank accounts, all sorts of strange things happen. So that's my challenge that I do every year, the prosperity party. And I have the Tapping into a Big Vision members community for people, because what we do there is twice a year we make our vision boards in January and June as a big part of my job. That's my business called Tapping into a Big Vision, because I think you've got to get clear on the vision of what you want. We talked about it today. What is it you want? What do your heart and soul desire? But let's make that bigger. What does your heart and soul desire for the 4 pillars of your life to look like? Your health, your environments, your relationships, your abundance, so it's giving you the time and space to get super clear during the vision board sessions. But then it's a community where we have to go on living our lives. My intention for the community is to have this emotional toolbox for people to keep their lives on track, because life is hard. We're not in control of the people around us in our lives. I've got teenagers, I've got elderly parents. Stuff happens, stuff goes wrong, and then just things happen in your life, and it's like, okay, well, how do you deal with life but still keep focused on the big vision? That's what I wanted my membership community to be about. It's not a come and join for 3 months and all your wishes will come true. It's a support community where there's people from all over the world, amazing people, and we support one another. We need support in our lives. And that was always my biggest intention, that to create this space where it's a personal development community, but tapping is at the core of it. So yeah, I'm so passionate about it, and I love that part of my business so much. But yeah, you can also easily just connect with me on YouTube and just tap with my YouTube videos, because again, I'm really committed and passionate about just creating lots of free content for people who don't necessarily want to join the community. For me, that's how I want to run my business. I want to make it accessible and affordable to as many people as possible.
So nice, so nice. I will include all the links in the show notes for sure. And I mean, I can totally confirm that. I mean, I'm part of your community and I'm absolutely loving it. And I can also confirm, I mean, I came into your community like more or less 1 year ago now.
Yes, it was about a year ago.
I mean, there was so many things have happened throughout this year. And I kind of also can confirm that, having that support system and also the members and everything, it's super fun and it's very great. I'm very grateful. And sometimes, it's like life happens. Like the other day, I was also chatting with somebody from your community and she was like, are you coming to the call tonight? And I'm like, oh, I forgot we have a call tonight. and then it was so interesting because at that day, because I would have totally missed it. And then it was about the soulmate, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm really calling in my soulmate right now. So I was like, wow, what a synchronicity as well.
I love that. I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah. And I love what you're doing in the world. And also we have guests. So Eva was a guest expert in our community, did an amazing womb healing masterclass. I don't have those skills and knowledge. It's a community where we all share our skills, and we all bring in our expertise, we bring in our gifts, our heart, our love, and yeah, and we co-create together. So yeah, that's so you're doing amazing things in the world, Eva. Fabulous.
You too. So thank you so much. Oh my God, this was so much fun. I'm obviously quite high now.
I know,
I know. Universe.
It is. And it is it's fun. Manifesting is fun. So, and I think most people get it all wrong. You get the desire and then you kind of think, oh, that's never going to happen. Oh, I'll just bury my dreams. I will just go back and watch Netflix and scroll on my phone a bit longer. But that's not the magic of life. That's not where it happens, And I think when we get ourselves into state, anything's possible.
Totally. And I feel also that's the reason why we are alive, right? I mean, we didn't come here to kind of have like a plain existence and suffer through life. I truly believe we came here to have a lot of fun and a lot of joy. And, sometimes there are dips. Okay, fine. And then we come
back. It's a whole human experience. Okay. And, when you come out the other side of the bad patch, it's like, wow, I came out of that. And I know every time I've had a bad period in my life, it's taken me on to better things, and I had to go through that for a reason.
Yes, I can totally confirm that. Nice. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, obviously you're such an inspiration. I mean, your YouTube channel is amazing, and so I'm calling in that one day I will be like, Mel, you have been the inspiration for this.
And I hope it will take you a lot quicker than it took me.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Eva. Lovely being here.
Thanks.